Okay, I got I gotta explain this shit real quick for y'all, man. What once once the devil, uh, Satan, Satan stands before God's throne day and night, accusing the brothers. So let me put it like this: I gotta meet my death and life at the same time. Satan Satan found fault with me. He found sinful. He he found fault sexual sexual sin as a little boy. What's the devil? What's the devil finds fault with you? You're pretty much done. Because the he's gonna accuse you day and night before God's throne. And Satan's been doing, the old serpent, the devil, he's been doing this for a while. That's what I'm saying. The thing is, I messed up, and I messed up with other people. Other people messed up with me. But one thing, I cannot I cannot convince my parents or my grandfather that I'm different now. I've changed. But they can't tell the difference. My parents and my grandfather can't tell the difference between a little kid and a young teenager and a grown man. They can't tell the difference. They can't tell the difference that kids are not always protected by God or the devil or their parents. Sometimes kids get taken advantage of without their parents knowing. Without, sometimes it's by your own family members. I was trying to explain this to my dad and my grandpa. I said, look, haven't you realized that the more you guys don't pay attention to what I'm saying, the more deadly this situation is becoming. There's death coming to it and there's life coming to it. Life and death. They don't understand when a kid is a kid, whether he makes the mistake or the mistake's made to him. So some little boys don't live to tell. Some little boys don't grow up to a grown man and say, hey, look, I know what I did when I was a child was wrong, but I was a fucking kid. Father, fucking forgive me. It's pretty bad when your own grandfather or father want to go by what happened as a child, and they don't want to pay attention to what's going on with themselves now. They don't understand that. They don't understand that kids make mistakes, and sometimes kids are victims of mistakes or sin, whether it be abuse of all types, verbally and physically. Kids make mistakes, and you can't hold kids fucking accountable until they're fucking 8 years old and fucking dead. Kids ain't mature. Children are not ripe. Little boys and little girls are premature. They're not mature and they're not ripe. Okay? Do you understand? You guys have fucked up so much rotation and pivots in other people's lives, you're not even paying attention to what's going on with yourselves. Don't matter. God will show them. God will show them. God will take care of the old serpent, the devil himself, with the host of angels of Jesus Christ, which destroyed the works of the devil. If you don't want to take heed to your son telling you, look, I was a fucking little kid. I didn't know any better. I'm a grown man now. I'm ripe. I know what I did was fucked up, but you're gonna have to give the motherfucker a pardon, and you're gonna have to have mercy and forgive a motherfucker. Stop hold. What father in their right state of mind would hold a fucking child accountable until he's 8 years old and dead? That's a foolish fucking. That's not a foolish man. That's a foolish father. Oh, you're so wrapped up in the works of the devil, you don't want to do deals and compromise or meetings with God. You're convinced that the devil's going to the lake of fire, and you got to go to the lake of fire with the devil. You're convinced that that Satan and the fallen angels and the children of Satan are going into the lake of fire, and you're convinced that's where you want to be. Everlasting punishment, day and night, forever, because you don't want to forgive your fucking son for something he did as a fucking little ass kid, a little fucking boy. And guess what? And your son put a stop to it personally when he was a young teenager. He stopped it himself. And then when he turned 18, he found out how to do the righteous shit, the right shit, and he started doing the righteous shit and the right shit. And you still have not paid a fucking attention to one fucking word he said, or one word he's saying. You haven't paid attention to a fucking thing. 2022. I'm not talking the late 80s and early 90s. I'm talking about 2022. You're not paying attention to what the fuck's happening now. You want to go by the late 80s and the fucking early 90s, and you guys do not want to pay attention to the present. You're still fucked up about the past. It looks like you people are left behind, and you guys are left to bury each other. Let the dead bury the dead. Because you're convinced that he was mature enough to know what the fuck he was doing, but he wasn't. His little body, his little boy's little body was too fucking. It was too premature. It was too premature to come to a fucking conclusion and to judgment. Because his rotation and his pivot got knocked the fuck off. His pivot and rotation got knocked the fuck off, and you guys still ignore the fucking fact that you guys, not only are you living a fucking lie, you're living a fucking lie that's been a fucking lie, and you guys don't want to come off that fucking lie.